This week's lifts are dedicated to the chicken al pastor from Chipotle, which sadly is no longer with us. Why? I don't know, but somebody, I guess, had a vendetta against me, and I hope they're happy. So this is week 3 of, I don't even honestly remember, my second, I believe, go around of Boring But Big. So week 3 is the week where you kind of max out your lifts. And so, yeah, this is day 1, overhead press. Look at those beautiful change plates, those green 2.5 pounders. So here we are, top set, so 110 pounds. I'll be honest, this week started off a little bit disappointing. So I did, I think, 105 by 9 the last time, right? So pretty good. And, it's only 5 pounds more. So I was hoping for, I guess, 8 reps, maybe even 9. But unfortunately, I only got 6. And I think it's coming up. You can see me really pushing for number 7. And I couldn't even get it up anymore. Really thinking about it. And, yeah, unfortunate. But, I think I tried some different cueing with the hips. Maybe, that played into it. I'm not sure, but in any case, the road is long, and so hopefully next block we'll be able to do a little bit better. What's not going to get better is just how absolutely insane it looks lifting with these change plates. I know it doesn't feel very manly, but I don't know. During the lifts, it felt pretty good. Boom. You see that fade out? I'm learning. So, yeah, I mean, I think I explained it before, but I try to go slow when I'm kind of bringing the weight down and just sort of power it up when I go up. I mean, these I think still are relatively light weights, and so it kind of feels like if I'm not at least trying to push them up really quickly, then I'm not really getting everything I could out of it, because just sort of lifting them at a normalish speed during the concentric, meaning when I'm like pushing it up in this case, it just feels like I'm not really, doing the lift, not justice, but I guess I'm not getting everything I can out of it. In any case, these accessory movements are always brutal, but I think getting better at pull-ups is probably going to be a pretty big priority of mine. I know that I'm gaining a little bit of weight as I do this. I remember when I was maybe closer to like 150, 155, which is like, it's weird to say, but like 15 pounds less than this. I was bouldering a little bit, and so this came a lot more easily. So I think not only should the numbers, the number of reps go up, but if I do get a little bit heavier here and there, I guess that's also sort of a progression scheme. But yeah, I think what I need to probably do is start just kind of going all the way down the pull-ups, because I feel like there's a lot of variation in how I perform each set, which maybe makes it a little bit difficult to make sure that I'm progressing. So yeah, those AirPods I'm wearing, actually I ended up washing them accidentally the day before. So like the washer had already filled up with water before I realized, oh my gosh, I left my AirPods in my shorts. And so I pulled them out like soaking wet, and I didn't try turning them on or anything. I kind of just let them dry. I waited a day, put them in my ears, and they made this like woo sound. Waited like another day, and then yeah, they're working again like normal. So I'm very, very happy about that. So here we go, guys. Deadlift, top set, 270 pounds. I feel strong doing deadlifts, and so, this is something I feel like I'm relatively good at, so definitely wanted to do as many as I could. I am happy my grip isn't really failing me. It feels early for me to have to do a mixed grip or think about straps. I've actually never used straps, so maybe sometime in the future that'll happen. And then, yeah, I thought pretty hard after this one about doing, I think, one more rep, but I'd already kind of equaled or actually bettered my prior performance, and my back was feeling different. Not bad, but just different, so I played it safe. But anyways, I'm still happy that I did that, and yeah, it worked out well. And so here, yeah, just more of the same. I think I might play around a little bit and try to maybe see if I can have a different starting position. So instead of my hips being a little bit higher, which I don't know if maybe what I'm doing is called like a dynamic start position, instead start a little bit lower and lift up. In any case, I recorded these, I think, with the sunlight, so that's why it actually got progressively darker. So that's why it looks a little bit different. In any case, same thing here, like I said before, trying to go up fast. Go down slow. I feel like my leverages are a little bit weird, right? So my femur feels like it's a little long relative to maybe like the completely average person. So maybe that's why it looks a little bit off. I'm not sure. I had to probably work on that. And then these, I never quite realized how important sort of core work was for these big lifts. And as much, it's so painful to try to do these, especially when, I have to go to work or something. But I know that in the long run, this is going to be very beneficial for my lifting. But it's so painful and it's so hard just to do each set. In any case, I'm happy I did it, and hopefully, I can start doing more than 10 at some point. This is also actually good for my grip strength, so just kind of hanging in this position is good because it develops sort of the gripping that's necessary for the deadlift. But overall, this day I felt pretty good. I think anytime you do deadlifts, you just lift that much weight, it feels like you kind of did something, like you're a big, strong dude, regardless of sort of how much weight you lifted. And then, yeah, music, I guess. There's a song called Revelation by Boston 168. That's what I was listening to during those deadlifts. If anyone is interested in getting pumped up. And then we move on to day 3. So here we go. Slow down, fast up. Well, sort of fast. So this workout, I think, occurred, basically I was in bed, and again, this happens every single week. So I had to work right after this, right? So a lot of these days I'm either just off of work or I have to go into work, and it is so tempting just to say, oh, I'll do it tonight, or oh, I'm too tired, or oh, it's too late. And what usually happens is I'll wake up on time to do the workout, but then I will try to justify going back to sleep, and by the time I think I made a decision, there's only I would have only gotten an extra 30 minutes of sleep, which I can't really fall asleep that easily anyway. So then I get up and scramble to try to do this workout anyways. So I need to kind of learn that about myself, kind of internalize it, and make sure I just start getting up on time. In any case, 145 by 8 is what I ended up doing on this top set of the bench. This is, I don't know, I'm pretty happy with it, honestly. I would say that benching is probably sort of my weakest area of all of these lifts, mostly because I feel like my chest just isn't, I guess, anatomically as strong and as strong a position as the others. I think my shoulders are good for overhead pressing. I have long arms, and so the pull is good for deadlifting. Squatting, I'm not really sure, honestly. I guess it could be worse. My legs aren't the worst ratios, but then bench, I feel like just with my narrow chest, it's just something I'm never gonna get super good at. But it doesn't mean it's not important. Arguably, I mean, that's a reason for it to be more important. In any case, fast up. I do think that the speed the bar move some of these sets is a little bit ridiculous, and I probably need to add more weight. Obviously, I've been a little worried about adding too much weight too soon, but hopefully after the next deload week, I think I'm going to, up my maxes and maybe go a little bit closer to the calculated 1 rep max. And just brutal. I will say I am a fan of the, diameter of the Rogue pull-up bar. For me, it works out pretty well. I know I've used bars in the past that have a smaller diameter, and it just doesn't feel as comfortable, as this one does. So, it probably depends on your, specific hand shape or whatever. So here we go. Yeah, I really do need to, just go like that and just come to a complete hang. So I think someday I'll start incorporating that. It is a bit weird though. I didn't think I cared so much about the numbers, but I guess the reason why I do that is to try to get the number of pull-ups I do a little bit higher. And then for these squats, I really do need to work on increasing the width of the plywood under me. Whenever I walk out, I always sort of have to think about where my feet are positioned. And it kind of throws me off a little bit. Squatting feels nice though. So again, I hadn't squatted for regularly, have not squatted for years before this. And I think it's probably been 10 years since I actually tried to progress with squats. So, it took me 6 weeks to get here, 7 weeks, but I finally feel like I can do squats probably twice a week and feel okay. My legs aren't completely out of commission for 2 weeks after doing this, which that actually makes me pretty happy. And so here we go. I was actually pretty happy with this next one. So top set, we got 185 pounds, which, it doesn't really mean anything as a number, but because it's a 45 and then you can add a 25 on each side, it feels like a significant amount of weight. Although now that I've started adding kilograms to the bottom, kind of showing how much I'm lifting in kilograms, I feel like 100 kilos is the next thing. Although that's pretty close to 225, so I guess that'll be a fun one to hit. But going down, trying to get that, it was a stretch reflex, trying to get that right to come up quick. And I felt so good doing these. I don't know why. I think I have a mental block when it comes to squats. I just feel like I'm going to hurt myself, or I can't lift very much, or I'm just not built for it. I have all these sort of doubts about squats. And if you'd asked me 5-6 months ago, how many reps do you think you'd do with 185 pounds? And even if you told me you got 2-3 months to try to prepare, I think honestly, I probably would have said 2, maybe 1 to 3, somewhere in there. So to be able to do 7 after just 7 weeks of training, that feels pretty good. Yeah, he'd be proud. These are nice even numbers. I debated doing front squats for these, but I feel like, and again, I shouldn't be feeling, I should be knowing, but I feel like my back squat is so low that I should just keep on working on this before I think about trying to front squat. And I think I need to work on my flexibility as well to try to get a better rack position for that front squat. But I will say my pants seem to be fitting a little bit tighter around the thighs, likely because of these squats. So that's actually it's pretty cool to actually feel a difference. I'm very disillusioned when it comes to, having expectations regarding sort of seeing these changes, at least this fast. in any case, I ran this week as well, which I think might have contributed a little bit to that overhead press disappointment. I'm going, I'm not running too far, but I am trying to go a little bit fast. So I might need to cut back on that a little bit versus maybe just pushing through and getting my body used to all of it. But I think this week, unfortunately, I didn't really sleep enough either before I worked out. So I kind of got to work on those things. In any case, this one was a little bit of meandering. I recorded the audio, I think, a little bit later than I usually do. So I've kind of lost the mindset of the lifts a little bit. But in any case, thanks for watching and see you next time.